0, 1, 2, 3. Let's get started. You've got to get a hold of yourself.
Phil, thanks for coming today.
No problem.
For everybody that doesn't know who you are you, and what do you do?
So my name's Phil Baxter. I'm the founder and director of PB Powder Coatings in Gainsborough.
Cool.
Phil, thank you for coming.
No problem.
How did the journey start?
Well, PB Powder Coatings started 2016. Officially started trading sort of 1st of September. The idea and the concept, I would say, probably started January, February that year. Bit of a sort of a light bulb story, but that's typically when it started anyway. A neighbour of mine that lived behind me had just had his alloy wheels done on one of his cars or something, and I popped out the back, seen that he had them done, and asked him, you know, where you had them done. He said he had them powder coated, and I thought, powder coated? I'd heard of powder coating, but not really understood it or knew what it was. I knew that it was more durable finish for wheels, a more favoured finish, so I just said to him, you know, can I have the details of this guy? He gave me the details for this guy. I contacted him. It was in Louth, he was. Turned up, and I expected to go to like an industrial estate and I see a workshop or whatever, and I didn't. I turned up to a farmyard, and it was like a double garage that this young lad had been doing powder coating in, which he'd sort of learnt in Australia, if I remember rightly. He'd been out in Australia on a gap year, and everyone was powder coating there, and he'd just come back and set up that. So sort of seen him do that in that sort of a little setup, literally sort of as cheesy as it sounds, it was the light bulb thing, and I thought, Jesus, no one's doing any of this now.
Where was that?
Whereabouts in Louth? On a farm. Honestly, I couldn't even take you there again. It was sort of driving to Louth, as funny as that sounds, and just come across a farmyard. It was literally a farmyard, and we drove in a farmyard where stables were and everything, and there was like a cottage.
Industrial estate with a proper
the lad who had his wheels done never said anything to me, so I didn't have a clue what I was turning up to. To just see someone doing something like that, and it turned out that the guy was actually doing wheels for Audi in Skegness, I think it was.
Oh, wow. On
this farmyard, and I thought, how the hell is that even a thing? And sort of left my car with him there to do the wheels on the car, and it just sort of triggered something, and I just researched it and thought about it and thought, geez, why is no one doing that around here? How can you do it here? I wonder how. And I reached out to the guy and said to him, you know, would you mind if when I pick my car up, if I bring a notepad and pen and just pick your brains? And he was as helpful as they come, and he's still doing it now, the guy called Ben. He said, yeah, of course you can. So I went to see him, and literally with a pen and paper and just
wrote down everything you need,
everything you can think of. What's that? Where's that from? What suppliers? And he gave me, you know, a few pointers and whatever. And I quickly thought to myself, he's set up here for, you know, X amount of money, 10 grand, I think it was, 5-10 grand. And I thought, is that achievable? What can we do with that? And it just literally went home and did nothing but research, watch videos and YouTube. A lot of people in the States do it.
And at that time, there was nobody here, was there?
No, nobody.
In 2016 doing that?
No, not a thing. Nobody. No powder coating setup whatsoever here.
No.
Not that I certainly know of. Definitely not a public powder coater.
No.
You know, there's industries that do the odd powder coating in their own industry, like in fabrication companies and stuff. But no, in 2016, it was completely unheard of. So I did my research, so to speak. I think I had a little shopping list, if you like, a few suppliers and an idea. Originally, the idea, I thought, can I do it in my garage? You know, could I really do it in my garage? I remember mapping the garage out, the bit of land I had. When I say land, that sounds extreme. It was a few foot. I don't know why I said land. Yeah, it was. I sort of wondered what I can and can't do. Can I register a business there, and all sorts of different things. Sort of fell into place, fell out of place at the time. I kind of looked for somewhere to set it up and so on and so forth. Through like if you have a conversation with a mate and they might say to you, I've got an idea, I know such and such that's got this building, or he works there, he might know such and such, and literally that kind of spiral thing, that's literally how it happened over a period of 3 or 4 months. I ended up looking at Pyramid Plastics, Pyramid Plastics in... right in the corner of
the same
Road.
estate where Juicens is.
Yeah, exactly that, right in the corner.
I remember seeing your place up there.
Yeah, we... through a friend of a friend who worked there, I went up and met him up at there, and he showed me a building that used to be their production building that they sort of outsourced after so many years, so it became a bit derelict and not really used. So I sort of spoke with the owner at the time, literally begged him, if you like, on a continual thing to give me the chance to sort of start in a corner of your building and see where we can go. Luckily, he took a punt on me and let me do it, so to speak. That's the birth of the company. Sorry to expand a little bit, but it's quite a niche story.
That's fine, mate. That's fine.
My question is, what was the final decision that I'm in? I'm going guns blazing and I'm going for it.
The decision to actually pull the trigger, if you like. Because to do it, to give you a little bit of context, to buy the equipment that I wanted, I had to sell another business that I had. So I had my own business that I did sort of hiring out and selling hot tubs in the local Gainsborough Octobi, and then I had a part-time business with Dave, who's now business partner to PB Powder Coatings. We did sort of bounce castles, entertainment, soft play areas, all that kind of stuff. I sort of did like an itinerary, if you like, of what the value of everything I had, if we was to sell it, and what I could generate, because I didn't have the money like that to chuck at a business like that. So the deciding point was once I've sold it, because if I sell it, I'm not earning. I've got nothing to earn.
So you had a couple of businesses to sell it.
Yeah. But the businesses was what I would call a capped business now, in terms of not being able to earn any more money. You only earn more money by buying more product that you can hire out.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to buy another hot tub to hire out that's generated you another couple, 300 quid a week, you had to spend $2,500. Now, being able to save that $2,500 when you're living week to week, as a lot of us do, was unachievable, if you like. So I always knew where I was capped at what I could earn. Which is part of the deciding factor to the question you asked, was that I knew that I was capped at what I could earn there. So being able to get to a business where I'm not capped and can potentially earn more and grow and do these things, that excitement and that knowing that challenge is something that I wanted to do, the decision was already made, I think. I've always been like that, just give it a go.
Yeah.
Now, I'd probably think a bit more than I did back then.
And... No, you shouldn't really. But how young were you when you started that and you were like, I'm doing it?
What, PB Powder Coatings?
Yeah. I made that decision that you're going to jump into it.
31.
31.
Yeah, I'm 39 now. Business is 8 years old. September this year, officially.
Cool.
31 with kids and that at home,
Yeah. And what's your range of services that you offer?
Currently, it's grown so much from the original name, if you like. So when I set it up, PB Powder Coatings, it was traditionally to be powder coating wheels and small parts, because I was only able to do that kind of thing, and sandblasting out of a cabinet, which was part of the process to powder coat, so you offer that as a service. Now we've gone to a point where we're a team of 6. We've got 3 buildings. We do everything from Cerakote applications. We're factory trained in Cerakote and authorised by Cerakote UK. We have vehicle bodywork repairs. We do smart repairs. We don't do massive bodywork repairs. We leave that to the big body shops. We can do brake caliper painting. We can restore anything metal, if you like. If the variety of stuff we've done, from a 1942 sort of Shell petrol pump to... We've done actually a vintage staircase for a house we did once.
Okay.
It was broke down. That was made of... I think it was brass at the time. It was a really...
Was that a spiral?
Yeah, it was a spiral one that was broken to pieces. We did it all, restored all that into like a...
I think
old
I remember
English one.
seeing that, actually.
Yeah, it was a big project that we did. This was at the old place for a lady that was renovating somewhere in Hemswell. The amount we can do, anything with sort of motorbike restoration, wheels, frames, yokes, custom stuff. We can do traditional painting, iridescent painting, metallic painting. We can do...
You can get matte finish, satin.
Yeah, matte, satin, gloss, whatever you want. Yeah, we can do thermal barrier stuff. We can do high heat coatings.
Yeah.
We can take up to 1,000 degrees. We can do piston coating.
So you can do rocker covers and stuff
All
like
that kind of stuff. Yeah, rocker covers to OEM stuff, anything
so
like that.
basically, everything and anything you guys are like.
Yeah,
you got your hands in.
it's a good point of the business, but it can be a little bit of a downfall. Not to by that I mean that if you had an influx of a lot of different work, you can't do everything at once. You know what I mean?
No.
So you might have powder coating runs and then need to do a bit of painting or a bit of this, a bit of that.
Yeah.
So Phil, going back to when everything was decided, you took on your first place. What happened after that?
So we was kindly given the keys to the building. I think it was July, because it was it not been used for us, so it needed some work. So it was a case of, you can go in the building. We're not going to charge you for so long. Do what you need to do, get it ready, kind of thing. Which was amazing. Again, like I can't thank Pyramid enough without their giving me that chance, which a lot of people wouldn't have, but they did.
enabled you to kickstart.
Oh, massively, yeah. So I'm forever grateful to them guys there. They give me the run of the corner of their building, if you like, which quickly became I took the whole building essentially. Eventually, it was just more of a get cracked on to just get the stuff, get the oven in, get the time machine I bought. I bought that before I actually got the key, so it was at my garage. A few bits I did. The sandblaster was in a box at my garage. Overloading the garage, if you like, couldn't do anything. It was just get the building set up and practice, really, because no one taught me anything. I didn't do a course. I'd never seen anything. It was all YouTube. Funny thing is,
Good
I
old
remember.
YouTube.
Oh yeah, you can learn anything now, can't you? YouTube.
Yeah,
you want to be a
absolutely,
guitar
mate.
player?
Yeah.
Sit and study YouTube. You want to know economics? Sit and study YouTube. It's everything.
It's
isn't it?
true, yeah.
It's at your beck and call. Anyway, so. I remember setting a booth up. A friend of mine, again, I had help from good friends of mine that built me like a wooden booth, and I obviously knew that powder coating needed to have a negative charge for the product, and then a positive charge comes out of your gun. But obviously, then I could only buy limited stuff and not the elite equipment, if you like, as you've got to set up. So I do remember putting a go-kart frame on it. And setting the gun up and everything, being really, really excited as to shoot the powder and watch it statically thing. And I picked it up and I shot it and it just hit it and felt it fall. I thought, oh my God, that's a lot harder than it looks, isn't it? Like, that didn't stick to that. What we're doing here? It turned out I had to put a 6-foot ground rod, 2 ground rods into the ground to get an earth charge, and then different copper wiring up to the top of the booth, and then along a metal bar. So, and then I had to have an electrician measure it to make sure that it gave the right ground. So there's a lot more.
A bit more to it than what you
a
thought.
lot more than I watched on YouTube, shall we say. That's pretty much how it started.
I didn't know that.
You've got no choice but to learn then, haven't you?
Yeah.
Wow, so you, in a nutshell, just jumped in both feet and you were like,
oh yeah,
I've got to make this work.
Yeah. There's I'm not even exaggerating. I was in that unit on my own, watching YouTube videos.
At that point, you sold everything.
Yeah, I want earning.
So it was like,
yeah,
I've got to make this work.
Yeah, 100%. I had no choice. Literally no choice. What could someone say? If it had failed, and it nearly did. I mean, there was times that I was there till late at night, like almost smashing my head off the wall, thinking, Jesus Christ, this is, this isn't going how I thought it was going to go. Again, funny thing is that I was buying powders, like half kilos, from eBay, and I reached out to the guy from eBay, who was selling the powder, and asked if I could have a call with him, a guy called Mark. He's still powder coating now in Leominster. That guy did the same as what sort of Ben did when I was getting, when I went to Louth. He was at the end of a phone and literally giving me pointers. He was, you don't use that powder with that, this with that, and change this to this, and sort of helped with that. So leaning on people and seeing what you can get out of it was great. It's always nice that people are going to help, though, isn't it? Which is why I do in this industry, unless they're local.
I've learnt so much off people that's give me advice and how to finish them.
Great, that is. Why not?
If you can get people to support you, and that's the only way you can grow, is having the right people around you.
Yeah, massive.
So having the right people around you in business definitely makes the journey a lot more easier.
For sure.
Especially if they've got experience in business.
Something you haven't.
100%. Like I said to you not long ago, like I had been in a boxer and in that sport since I was 5.
Yeah. One
thing that I knew I wasn't was I didn't know business. I wasn't a businessman. I don't operate a business. So then my old landlord, Daz, He goes, "Have you got an accountant?" I go, "No." He was like, "Do you know anyone in the town?" I was like, "No, I only know you." So then I met, obviously, Darren Jones, my landlord. He helped me as well. He gave me rent-free periods, helped me out much as he could, because he had the belief and faith that I was going to pull off what I'm saying. Then from there, I got introduced to Darren Ashley, did my accounts, helped me out with stuff. And this is a bit of a funny one, but Richard Kane as well, like, we spoke, like I said to you before, like, we spoke about the gym, and he says, if you ever need any help, any support, you've got my number, just give me, a text or a call. And
it's amazing the wealth of knowledge you can get from people to help you on your journey.
Yeah, even at the beginning, there was, good close friends that used to even set the building up. So, like I said, clear it out, get it ready for being able to work in the building, being there after they've finished work till stupid o'clock at night. They know who they are. There's a select few people that was there from the beginning to support me and told me that it would work. A lot didn't, a lot said that it wouldn't work for whatever reason, maybe because it probably sounded like it wouldn't work. I'm not daft, I could see that, but it's so having people to support no matter what they're doing and all, even if they were just there, helping me sort of even just paint the floor or whatever.
I never had that because nobody knows
your business.
I didn't know about it, so most people don't know about it. So
there's nobody, a very niche world, yours.
For me, there was
very
nobody
niche.
to say that's not going to work because I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing you had your wife at the time. How important was she in the whole growth of this as well?
Kylie's very important to it all, because if I'm at work or trying to create a business that's taking hours and hours and hours of me, there's someone got to be at home doing everything at home, aren't there? Because we younger kids back then, she's there doing everything. So if I came home, the house was how it needed to be, if you like. There's still food on the table, so to speak, and that. Right, so it's a very stressful time. And a lot of people use this word stressful. I don't know if they really kind of understand it, and I didn't at first. There's levels to it, isn't there, that you don't even know you're feeling.
Absolutely.
And some of it, people will say, "You look stressed." I'm fine. No, you look stressed. And what do you mean I look stressed? It's that perception of it. What's looking stressed? Thanks.
Yeah.
Like,
you do look stressed today, though.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's you. it's your influence. That's what that is. Come and do a podcast.
Yeah. What's it? Let me just.
After 3 months, I've been trying to get you on here.
I know. Yeah. Well, the fee was agreed eventually, wasn't it?
Jesus.
That's the problem.
Lee, even when this was a concept, so just a thought.
I know. I remember him telling me about it.
He kept saying, "We need to get Phil on. We need to get Phil on. We need to get Phil on." I'm like, "Is he going to say yes?"
But you've been coming up to us for years, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bloody hell.
And when we were making a list of who we're getting on, we had 3 picks each. I picked my 3. He picked his 3, and you were the first person who was like, "He's coming."
It's very flattering. Thank you.
So.
And that's why I've done it.
Because I believe in your product, and
that's great. Yeah, I know you do. Yeah.
I use you regular.
We've done some seriously high-end stuff.
Everything you've done for me has been absolutely spot on.
That's great to hear.
And your story, like I said to you, phenomenal. You can have so many different stories, but again, the people who jump head in first, the stories that I love.
I look back at it like now and think about it. I'm aware of how the story is, and how a lot of people would have give up, or a lot of people, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of people that do things a lot more daring than what I did, but at the time it was massive, although it didn't feel massive, like, I don't think I overthought like I do now. Now I'm getting a bit older and I overthink everything, but back then it was more, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to be my own boss, and I want to be in charge of where a business goes. It's alright being your own boss if you're doing certain things that are limited, but I never wanted limitations. I wanted to see where and what I can do and where it can go, geographically.
Nothing
anywhere.
wrong with that, mate.
No, I just thought that the scope to do whatever I want to do in this industry, as long as I can earn, because obviously it's a business, you need to earn and pay.
Yeah.
When you get to that stage and you're earning and you're all right and you're managing your bills, then the sky's the limit.
The place you've got now is amazing compared to where you were.
Oh yeah, it's night and day, isn't it?
So
it's incredible.
Where you were near, was it near Jewson, did you say?
Yeah,
just
so
past Jewson.
Where was the stage after that? What happened after that?
What, to where we are now?
Oh, exactly. So you went from Jewson's to where you are now?
So 8 years old was it? It was 4 years somewhere, and then 4 years in December this year we've been at the new place.
Is it 4 years?
Yeah.
God, yeah.
Yeah, 20. We got the keys. 22nd of December. Funnily enough, 2020.
Bloody hell! That was not long after I got the keys for this place.
I opened the gym just before that. A year before that, I opened in March
2019. Got keys for this place on the first day of the first lockdown.
Yeah. The lockdown year, it's an interesting year for us all, wasn't it? But as daft as this sounds, right, it really made us.
Yeah.
In terms of
not
what
anyone
it did.
Say that.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's funny you say that because I say this to Lee. Because before lockdown, I was just an up and coming new business. Again, trying to just get myself that recognition. My daughter was born just before we went into lockdown. After the lockdown finished, Lee can even tell you, I had people from literally that door that we walked past all the way back practically down the stairs every night. And it just made me.
Yeah, well, it will do, especially for something like yours. A lot of people were sat doing that, weren't there?
Yeah,
exactly.
So just became
the fitness thing was a big kind of thing, wasn't it? Get out and do things.
Yeah, and it became like a household name just after that.
So, Phil, what can you tell us about your childhood? Where did you go to school?
So I grew up in Misterton.
All right.
In the same house in Misterton my whole childhood. Awesome childhood, really. What wasn't in the late 80s, early 90s. Proper childhood, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Making dens.
Absolutely, mate.
Water guns out of fairy bottles.
Stomping ground, Misterton.
Yeah, well, we did everything in Misterton. Because where we lived near fields and stuff. It was that, you're outside, aren't you? I was never in.
No.
Never wanted to be inside that house. It was always a challenge for my parents to get me in. You know, you want to be out playing football, making dens, playing Bulldogs Charge and
jumping
Kirby.
over people on your BMX and
climbing walls, garages, all sorts of stuff, wasn't it? So I think we're the last of the generation of that kind of a childhood now. They're all sat on an iPad, aren't they? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Which is such a shame. But that's why Toys R Us shut down.
I mean, like Freddie, he plays Fortnite and stuff like that now.
Yeah.
When I was his age, I was outside setting fire to soldiers and stuff.
You guys had a normal childhood. Oh God, I wish I had that. My childhood was very different. Like, even when I speak to my friends, it was really different. I didn't have friends. I wasn't allowed out, but I used to train at the gym 6 days a week. And
that's a regimented childhood, that, isn't it?
Yeah, and I was like that from.
Is that your parents instilling it, or have you got older siblings? Or
I'm the oldest, so I've got a younger sister. But I was in boxing from when I was about 5. My sister, and there's 3 years between us, so she jumped in when she was about 5 as well. But that's all we knew. But I think that's how my childhood was. Where if I spoke to other people, they were like, exactly how you lot are, and I'm like,
mine was a play, and I've got an older brother.
Skateboards,
bikes.
He's
7 years older than him. My sister's 5 years younger, so that's quite an age gap. But in Miston, everyone played football or just made dens. I just thought, remember that kind of thing. So I never remember being bored. I don't think bored was a thing when I was a child. I was never. It was raining. I was outside. I didn't care. Never stopped me. You know, I never thought about that.
We used to bike to the leisure centre because there used to be a BMX track behind the leisure centre.
What, in Gainsborough?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a little bit of issue. I didn't know.
When you look out the back windows towards Grinley, just on the grass there at the back, there was a.
Where that light thing is?
There used to be a huge BMX track there.
Wow. What, like just...
with double lumps and everything.
Oh, just one that like the council have done or something and just made lumps and left it, not like a caged off flipping...
No, proper BMX racetrack.
Phil, so we know about the great Townsville business that you are currently going through and you've been going through. Tell us about some of the bad Townsville businesses.
Wow. Yeah, there's always probably more of them, isn't there? Definitely. A lot of the early days, it wasn't anywhere near what it looks like now. You know, trying to find work, getting people to trust you to do things where you've got no sort of experience, if you like, and you know the odd person had messaged saying and asked certain questions about powder coating that I didn't know the answers to. I find that very challenging. Money. Let's be honest, money is a massive thing. I wasn't earning, and certain things that I'd need. Again, leaning on a couple of friends back then. You know, can I borrow this? Can I borrow this? Anyway, you know, even if it was 100 quid here, 200 quid there, on the promise that give, you know, in time this is going to change. You know, I'm telling you that I'm going to do something here. Money's massive. A lockdown seemed like that though. You know, when all that COVID crap came out at first, and everyone was going home and the whole world went into panic. That was hard because at that specific time, Pyramid was just growing again, like coming to a new generation with the two youngest boys taking over, if you like, in Pyramid. They needed to take that building back off us, which is purely business. Look back at it now, absolutely phenomenal. But going into lockdown, I was told that they want that building now. So I got told that, which at that specific time was like, hold up. Yeah. Everyone's getting sent home here. I had no idea. And I know how hard it is to find a unit in Gainsborough, especially one that you can afford.
It's not easy.
It's not easy at all. There's just none about, is there?
I spent about a year.
Oh, we went every... at that time in lockdown, me and Dave, we went everywhere. Like, literally, we was... a lot of people won't even know this, was close to moving to Retford. Because Retford had units. We viewed a few units in Retford and had on some good terms, some good sizes and stuff. That was a challenging time. It's challenging now, if I'm honest and all, though. The cost of living, everyone uses that phrase, but it's a real thing. I think in the last few years, again, everybody's the same. You're all going into Morrison's, aren't you, going, bloody hell, that loaf of bread's twice as much or whatever. Well, it's the same in business. It's, certain parts we use, whether it'll be a chemical, a powder or something, I can get my order sheets out and look and go, this was £100 a box 3 years ago. It's now 165 for the exact same product. But how can I put my prices up by... Do you know what I mean? So that, to me, is a big challenge that I currently manage on a daily basis, if you like.
Yeah.
That's a huge challenge. Luckily, in PB Powder Coatings, apart from that sort of lockdown thing and moving and not quite sure where we're going to go, and the very early days, we've been quite successful.
Yeah.
And I think that a big factor of that is that we're not just a powder coating company. The name's PB Powder Coatings, but we're not. If all I did was powder coating, you might struggle in terms of filling your diary every week, so to speak. Because we've diverted into different things that we have the skill set to do, I think we could generate money from different
The ceramic coating's quite a broad...
It's because of the perception of it. The thing is with Cerakote itself is that it's, people said, do you do ceramic coating? Well, in this country and a lot of countries, ceramic coating is a paint protective coating that people are doing after they detail the car. Yeah. So it's understanding. It's not that it's a different product, and you can go into any industry with that product, whether it be angling, flipping, cycling, health and fitness.
I understand the military use.
It's massive in the military. Huge.
When did obviously you own it, and then there's a partner as well?
Yeah, Dave.
So when did Dave come along on this journey?
Yeah, so I set it up in 2016. Started trading September. In December through Christmas, Dave had his own business that did sort of like gardening and window cleaning and fencing and stuff like that. So he had his stuff that he used, and he used to keep a part of the building that I was in, his stuff in there. And through Christmas, after having what happened to us, Dave didn't have much work on, and he literally just said to me, what's happening at your place, is anything I can do? I think the conversation went on. He came in and we did a few days with me, and we just got through a lot of stuff, like the prepping of stuff. And again, it's like, as mad as this sounds, I literally just said to him, so why don't you just sell up yours, let's chuck some more in and see what we can do. Let's see. I've done all the research into it. We're into the business is running, it's established and all that.
So do you and Dave actually know each other from years ago?
Yeah, we had the business that I mentioned earlier.
Yeah, but you only knew each other from there? That business, or did you
No, I met
each other, or?
No, God, no. I met Dave, I'm going to say, maybe 18 months, 2 year before that. Dave used to help me a bit with my hot tub business, and I'd help him with his gardening. If he needed a day's labour, I was available wherever, because hot tubs and that didn't. You had a lot of spare time. Let's put it that way. Yeah, you're only picking it hot tub up and delivering it, aren't you?
Yeah.
So sorry, going back to that, Dave came with me, and sort of we got through a lot of bits, a lot of work, a lot of prep, sandblasting stuff, and I literally just said to him, "Why don't you just sell up?" And he laughed at me or whatever, and I said, "No. Think about it," and that was how it went. And then we went round his house and we spoke about it again and again, and then I think it was end of January, February, something like that. It was like, right, let's go.
Yeah,
let's
big decision, really.
Yeah. Oh, it was. Yeah, it was. I think Dave could see. Yeah, obviously for Dave's family, it might have sounded like a risk, and of course it was. Dave had a business that was earning, and he was earning all right. He wasn't he was doing fine at what he does.
Yeah.
He's good at what he does. Like he's an hands-on guy, Dave. You know.
Yeah.
Give him something to build and let him play with his drills. Wow, he can build. I mean, honestly, you know, like you look at our place now. If you've been to our place, you'll go in and you got to remember that building had nothing.
Just a shell. Wasn't
It was a shell. It didn't have a line in
Yeah.
it when we got the keys on the 22nd of December. We had to build a business. Dave built it.
Yeah. And there's some guy that's supposed to come in and do some walls for you, wasn't
Funny,
there?
I was going to get to that, but there was a guy that said he'd help. I don't know his name, but he's doing podcasts.
Nah, you bro.
And he didn't help.
Was
mate.
it Lee?
He didn't help.
No way.
I was too busy.
He vanished, and he just
Really?
he wasn't at the end of the phone like he used to be.
You know what the
and-
weird thing is? Every time I've needed someone, I need my
Yeah,
my
there's an
brother's there.
excuse.
Brother's there without
Oh,
even a
it-
question.
Was he?
My whole gym renovation.
I was doing this place.
My whole gym renovation did it.
I had to
with
run
me.
a business, renovate this place, and I just didn't have time, mate.
Oh,
Bleeding. It's called bleeding love, that isn't it? Yes,
Oh,
you did say that, though, but yeah, but like Alan, who works for me, he was up throughout Christmas and everything. Because obviously, sorry, I'm going off subject again, aren't I? But that when we had to build the business, we actually had it planned to have the keys in November, but because of lockdown and everything that kept happening, the flipping government and whatever kept sending solicitors home or certain industries home, didn't they? So you couldn't
Yeah.
get hold of solicitors who were doing the deeds of the business and all that kind of stuff.
All right, Phil. What's the future hold for you personally and for the business?
Right, for the business, it's more of a stay as we are, get more sustainable, grow into different sectors, maybe look at targeting certain industries for some commercial work. That's we certainly want to be in that kind of an area. We've done loads of work for different companies that can guarantee a certain amount of work that we're capable of doing in one of our buildings.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Probably add one or two more staff, but very specialist staff. You know, so go down the route of a proper online marketer and a salesperson, maybe something like that.
Yeah.
Something that can go out for us, that kind of thing, and maybe someone that can learn powder coating, painting, that kind of thing, but without the prep. So we've got a guy that's just
Yeah.
focused on honing in the finish, if you like.
Okay.
do you have any hobbies and interests? What do you like doing? Do you like going on holiday with the what family or?
Oh yeah, but yeah, I mean personally, obviously, you'd want more family time. You want to get to certainly want to get to the point where the business can manage itself a bit, definitely, but not detract from the business, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably like to bring my lad on board at some point. You know, now he's getting a bit older and wanting to do that. I think.
Yeah. Why
So
not?
so that the business is sustainable again in that regard. Personally, we've recently, well, I say recently, we moved out of Gainsborough after all these years, so we're settled where we are. Maybe.
You're not bothered about actually expanding the business physically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I would, but
'Cause
only,
it's quite big at the minute.
yeah.
Isn't it?
I think that'd come with commercial work, because
Yeah.
as you'll know, like when you're doing a lot of retail work, you might have X amount you've got to make every month to pay your bills and stay afloat. But to get that X amount, you might have to have 30, 40, 50 different customers. You know,
Yeah.
so if you can lower that amount and get, you know, one or two commercial clients that are giving you certain amounts of work, X amount that's guaranteed for whatever period or whatever, then that gives you
I mean, if
sustainability.
you've got a military contract for the
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're
Cerakote,
close
then-
to stuff. We're close to stuff. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know if I've showed you before. We've done a lot of work for a very high end British bike manufacturer.
Yeah.
That won't be named because we can't name it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we've passed all their grades for sampling and stuff like that. We've almost built a production building from got almost close to ISO certified for that specific industry. So we're working with them. They've just had to have certain finishes tested in the States and in England, and they've passed certain states. So we'll hopefully move forward with that. And if that does come to fruition, and we do that kind of work, then we have the scope to really grow. Then again, you know, take another building or whatever it comes. But it will only happen if I know that I've got the work and I can sustain it, because things get a bit daft
No, that's
lately.
fair enough, mate,
Do you know
yeah.
what I mean? And we've already got 3 buildings,
Yeah.
and we're sustainable in them 3 buildings. But
Well, from where you've come to where
to
you
where
are
it
now,
is,
it's amazing.
it's mind blowing, really.
Yeah.
It is. I find it mind blowing. I'm involved in it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I really do. Yeah.
That's the best feeling when you're like, you look back and you're like, damn man, I didn't do bad.
Because I don't know what you guys are like, but wherever I've worked before, or if I know people that have got stuff, I always look at it and go, I've had conversations with people before and go, do you not look round and go, wow, this is all mine, I made this, or I'm a part of this.
Yeah.
And I also think that must feel amazing. But when you're there, don't get me wrong, I'm aware of how it don't feel like that.
No.
It's just another day at work.
Yeah, I don't look and go, wow, look at all these we've got at our disposal.
It's weird, but I used to get this feeling. But like I said to you, first started, I could turn up and I'd have maybe even Lee knows this, I could have one person at a fiver.
Yeah. And you think,
and my vision was, I'm gonna have 50 bodies in here, 50 bodies in here.
Yeah.
50. Then when that started happening, I would do my job, deliver the best classes I could. After I've done that and I've gone home, I would go as if my vision that I wanted to do, it happened.
Yeah.
And that was like the first time when it was really busy, and then it happened again. I had a consistent night where I'd get having big numbers.
Yeah.
But again, with that as well, you have your quiet times as well, which everybody knows in business.
Yeah, exactly. And it's how you fill them, innit?
Yeah,
luckily, and I use the term luckily. We do a great job. We've got a really good reputation, but it's not just about getting that finished bang on. It's sometimes if things go wrong, which they do, we are human, can go wrong, but it's how we deal with them, and that's my biggest focus. And my customers will know this. I'm so anal about stuff like that. I mean, I expect so much, and it's got to be bang on. If it ain't bang on, there wants to be a reason to it, and an understanding of how we can't get it bang on for whatever reason. But if anything goes wrong or people aren't happy with whatever, my biggest value, I think, is being able to talk to that person and they'll feel like they've had a 5-star treatment and understand everything.
Yeah.
And again, I know the industry. I've messed it up, if you like. I've messed all sorts up to learn and research stuff. So I know what I'm talking about when it comes to parts of that industry, especially powder coating and Cerakote, and that's it's second to none what I know. So
It's
I can give that.
butter,
I can give that advice and all. Do you know what I mean? If there's anything specific that's gone wrong or a reaction of some sort, I'll normally know why, and if we can overcome it, that's which is a big thing, isn't it?
Phil, if somebody's 18, 19, 20 or 30 when you started your business, if they're looking at this podcast, looking at your story, and they want to start a story but they're held back, they're worried, they've got that fear factor in them, what's the best piece of advice you could give them?
Just do it, honestly. I mean, we can research things for free, can't we? We can put whatever effort in we want, and it's up to us, that, innit? On an individual basis. We can have an idea and that it just be an idea, or we can sit and we can write things down. And that's what I did. I'm no better than anyone, believe me. Not at all. I'm no different. I'm no flipping business owner or whatever. But what I did do is research. You know, when everyone's asleep, I'm sat there researching.
That's easier to do now than it ever has been.
Exactly that.
Well,
and it's free. My point is free.
When I started, we didn't even have the internet. So
steady on me.
Well, you know what I mean?
It was black and white, wasn't it? That's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, it was before the colour came in.
Jesus. It was on an old BBC computer playing Lemmings. Jesus, man.
1993 wasn't that far away, man.
I was born 2 years after that, bro.
I was 8. Wow, how old are you?
I'm 29.
Holy moly.
How do you think I was? Honestly, just don't
I've got
tell me.
pants older than him.
How old do you think I was?
I don't know, is he? I would have said 34, 35, something like that.
I've had the same answer since I was about 15 years old.
What, 34?
Yeah. I've always had a full face of hair. Always. And
I don't get that now, so... No, but going back to the advice, the research thing's massive, isn't it? Because it's on you, that, I think. I think you can be sat when everyone's having the tea, or at night and everyone's watching TV, and nowadays they're sat on the phones. But do that research. Put that little bit of effort in. We can research anything, downfalls, upfalls, and anything. Yeah. And just go for it. Really, unless... It's hard to say what's the worst that can happen, but really, what is the worst that can happen? If we fail, we'll be right. Yeah. People might see PB powder coats now and think, wow, or whatever the thing. They're entitled to whatever they think, but what they don't see is all the stuff that failed before that. I didn't just start that business, or I didn't try it. I've done all sorts over the years, and nothing's really material. Nothing worked like that anyway. No. So yeah, just go for it. As daft and as cheesy as people might think that sounds, do it. Literally do it. There'll be someone around you that'll champion you and help you.
And how important is it? I know we've spoken about it before, but having that person who's been in business a long time to kind of guide you or give you a little bit of advice.
It can be important. I didn't have that specifically in the beginning, in terms of business, but I had close friends that G'd me on, if you like. Business wise, that it would be massive, wouldn't it? Huge. Yeah, I think any advice from anybody, take it, because it's not there for anything else other than to take, is it? You're not being
if
critiqued to a point of whatever.
If somebody's giving the wrong advice, that's the wrong person you're seeing.
Yeah.
You're not speaking to the right people.
Everybody we spoke to up to now just said, if you're thinking about starting up a business, just go for it.
Yeah, massively.
And it's like you say,
obviously, a lot of businesses aren't going to cost a fortune to start, or you can start small. Like with what I started. You look at what we're doing now and what we have at our disposal now, machinery wise and staff and stuff like that. There was none of that. If you can start on a budget, and for instance, you'll buy a powder coating gun that might be X amount. Well, I didn't. I got a powder coating with that. And you just start like that, and to be fair, it's like being pushed in deep end at pool. You'll survive.
Yeah.
Some.
So you had a vision.
Yeah. Yeah.
You executed it. Did you ever visualize yourself going from where you was to where you are now?
No, not that quick. No. I knew what I wanted. If the building that we had, it kept changing. It was. I'd come in on a Monday and go, I think if we put a wall there, or if I change that. I still do it now. If you spoke to Dave or anyone at work, I'm forever changing things. I have such a meticulous way of things. I'm always looking to finesse anything. It doesn't matter what it is and all. Something as daft as a sander. If I can get a better sander, a spray gun or whatever, and if I can hone a better spray gun, I'll get a spray gun. I've never been scared to reinvest. Reinvest's huge.
That's funny, because Lee's exactly like that.
Exactly
to the T with this.
the better your tools, the
100%.
better your job's going to be.
Because we do such a wide variety. Moving from where we was to where we are now gave us ample opportunity. The oven setup we've got now and the overhang system with the rails and the booth was designed in Ilkeston. So I went to their place and meticulously designed it with them, because I knew exactly how I wanted. I knew the problems we had at our old building, how I was lifting products out of ovens, where we was loading them. I knew that I needed to have a loading rail so when things are boiling out and they're coming out, there's somewhere to put them. So we've got like a 9.5 metre loading rail that we can move. You've seen it.
Yeah.
We'll show you it, don't worry. They're all on trolleys, and the heat resistant trolleys, by trolleys I mean a bearing runner that you can hang up and you can just push it along and it'll go in and out of it. So you don't even have to touch it, essentially. So that going back to investing,
all helps, doesn't it?
Yeah, 100%. Like when we this building was literally drawn out on the floor. So it was like, I want that light, I want that light switch there, I want 2 different ring lights. So in our reception we have 2 different ways of showing our product. So you'll have 2 different kind of light scenarios, which will demonstrate that a product can look differently under light, but it's not differently.
Yeah.
Because that was a lot of...
I think you was doing that yesterday.
Yeah.
You didn't have the ceiling light on.
Yeah. And
everything looked different.
It does. And it's funny because we might lacquer something, right? And on them lights we've got, which are like the hexagon detailing lights, they don't hide anything. But what they do, they show like little sort of orange peel effect, which the naked eye outside, you never seen. It looks amazing. So if you flip my switch in my reception, it'll go to them dimmer lights that are different lights, and it'll just look like glass, and you'll be like, wow. But if I flick the switch, you think, well, that don't look, to me anyway, because I look at it and go, I'm a bit like, whatever. So interested enough just reinvesting and making sure that we can iron out any situations that a customer's seeing visually and as well as anyway, really, isn't it?
Yeah, good.
So it's been meticulous, shall we say? Very meticulous.
So if anybody needs to get in touch with you,
we're available.
You've got a website?
Yep, we've got a website, www.pbpowdercoatings.co.uk. We're on Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, which is connected through Facebook and social medias. That comes direct to my phone. We've got Cerakote by PB website.
Have you got a contact number?
01427 677 266.
Cool.
That's the landline.
And your mobile? No, joking.
No. We have a WhatsApp list that is on our social media, which comes to my mobile.
Yeah. You're not on TikTok? Yet.
We have got a TikTok page, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't promote it 'cause I don't really understand it.
Yeah.
That's probably one for the
Me
market, the online marketers, isn't it? You know, when that's the thing we're looking at now. I'm speaking to business coaches and stuff that are very, very experienced at the minute that are going to help with that kind of stuff. Whether we go down the freelance route or university student route or something.
Yeah.
Because the youth, as bad as it sounds saying youth, they're different, aren't they? When it comes to social media,
Oh, yeah.
their understanding of it's so natural. I mean, I'm not a
Eleanor
novice
knows-
by any chance, but
Eleanor knows how to use
yeah.
CapCut and
The beauty of what we do, it's very picturesque in it, you know, befores, afters, transitioning and all that, so it could be used hugely on that kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, Phil, thanks for coming.
Phil, thank you very much for coming.
Absolute
Appreciate it.
pleasure. Jose.
Eventually, I should say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got
You
it.
certainly made me work.
Yeah. Well, that's a change, isn't it?
Like I said, from the day dot, your name was always mentioned.
It's
So
very flattering.
pleasure having you here.
Thanks for having me, honestly.
Yeah, been brilliant, mate. Thank you very much.
I've enjoyed it.
Thank you.